The reason why micro schools are needed is, if you look at the current school system, the curriculum, it was built decades and decades ago for a world that doesn't exist today. So you've got, like, I love the teachers, there's so many great administrators who care, but if you're inside of a system that doesn't educate and really transform young men and young women's minds, they're stuck in a system that's outdated, that is antiquated, that doesn't really prepare them for the real world. You're memorizing, regurgitating, quote unquote learning, but you're being pushed to a test. So micro schooling, we solve all those problems by really helping them to learn, to understand, to be able to present it back, and then how it applies in the world today.
In the real world.
Yeah, in like 2025 and 2026 and beyond, not 1950, 1972.
Okay, I love it. What's your message to people who are hesitant about micro schools?
So one of the best ways you can find out about micro schools is come visit our center. Follow us on social media, but come and listen to what the families say and look at the results of our children. We have parents who will say, we've been looking for something for our son, and this is an answer to our person. Our son has never been excited to come to school. My two sons, we pulled them from the traditional school. They begged for a year, and I'm like, I'm not a homeschool parent. We found Elite, and I ask them once a month, do you want to go back to public school? And they're like, no way. So the way to find out if it's for you is to walk into one of our centers and come visit, come bring your child for a day. Like, come test it out. You don't need to make a year-long decision sitting at your home. Reach out to our team, have a conversation, walk into one of our centers, and then just ask this question. Is what I'm doing for my child, does it have them on the right trajectory for their greatest life, for their best self, for them to live their purpose and fulfill like why they're here? Or is it just putting them inside of a box in a cage to prepare them to live someone else's dream? And if you can answer, hey, we like where we're at, this isn't for you. But if you know in your heart and mind that there's something that's not right with the way our children are being educated, and you want to explore something else, and I invite you to come check us out.
I love it. Let's see. How does this fill educational gaps?
So right now, there's a lot of gaps in education. There's a lot of missing pieces, and they learn a curriculum that teaches them to memorize, regurgitate. When they come into Elite, we show them how to ask questions and think critically. We teach them how to be real about where they are and real about what they want. We teach them how to learn, to not worry about what will I look like to the 40 other students in the classroom. And then we give them very customized, tailored educational experiences and platforms. All that means is they're going to learn based upon how they learn, what they like, what they want. You know, why do children do so good at video games? Because they want to play. So if we can give them an experience in the classroom where they want to do it, we're not trying to force them. It's an adventure, not a burden. And then as far as other ways of learning, our children, they leave feeling like $1 million because our academic coaches care. The classrooms are smaller, so you're not one of the herd. You're not one of 30 or 40 kids. You're one of 10. And when there's smaller classroom settings, the coach can connect with you, can really help you versus, hey, Johnny, I know you're back there. I can't get to you because I got to focus on this child. Like, it not only fills the gaps, it creates a new path for the best way that a child can learn and become their best self.
How would you say these micro schools are run day to day? Like, can you give viewers kind of an example of what that looks like?
So the way that the micro schools are run day to day, like we start, but then we always start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And then because of the smaller classroom sizes, I love the sports academy side. So like we're here in our Lehigh Center, my boys are athletes. So they come in, they start, and we always start with gratitude. We call it a good news minute. Like you focus on something great. You know, what you focus on is what you feel. So instead of coming in and saying, okay, turn your homework in, or did you do good on your test? We're gonna ask the child the first question, give us a good news minute. What's something great in your world? What's something you're grateful for? We're two clapping everyone, we're high-fiving, like a good energy. And then of course they'll go train. The learning portions are not like one person talking. The teacher's gonna ask and make you memorize. They teach, they talk in small groups, they share it in the classroom, so there's lots of comprehension. How does this apply to the real world? How does this apply right now? And then, if they're in the sports academy, they train twice a day. So imagine if you have a child who has a trajectory to go to the next level, junior college, D1. They train twice a day. Like really train, not like recess, tether ball for 10 minutes. We're talking speed, strength, agility, mindset twice a day. Imagine what would happen if your child was getting that throughout the year, even during season. Then there's recovery, then there's supplements, and they're learning how to take care of their bodies. If you're not part of the sports academy, it's about a 3.5-hour session. That's all they need. Currently, students waste time. My sons were saying, Dad, we waste so much time in school. Yeah, my son finished his senior year in 2 months. My other son did his fourth grade in 3 months. So you got to ask yourself the question, what's going on with their children in a traditional school setting? And I always say this, if you're going to drop your child off to an institution for 8 hours, 7, 8 hours a day for 12 years, you better make sure you know what's going on in the school, not these political agendas, ideas that just don't vibe with your family values. And again, teachers are incredible, but they're kind of handcuffed by the system. So the way we run our centers are based upon where the children want to go, build their character, build their foundation, build their belief systems and their self-belief so their confidence is so high, they'll leave our centers and be like, I can do anything because I know all things are possible. I just got to ask the question, what would it take? Versus, I'm learning from someone who says I shouldn't dream too big. When I was in high school, my goal literally was crazy. It's like, if I could just make X amount of dollars, that was as much capacity and perspective as I had. I teach my kids now at our school with our financial literacy, and I'll tell them, look, $100,000 is not a lot of money if you're an entrepreneur. $1 million is not a lot of money, and I'm not saying that to brag about anything. I want them to expand their mindsets. I want them to know, this teacher's going after his goals. This academic coach is doing this. I think I could do the same thing. So that's how we run our centers, with a lot of love, a lot of TLC, and I just invite all parents to come check us out.
Any other questions or any other messages that you want to send to the community?
I don't know, I get so emotional, but I'd say this. If you are a parent who knows that the current system is not serving your child, and you're like, I don't know what to do, because you might think private school is this much and charter school is this, but those aren't serving your child, and you just, your heart is telling you there's a better way. And your child is saying, this is not for me. I invite you to come check out our micro school. Listen and trust that there's a path that'll open up. That was my sons. Both my sons begged for a year, can you take us out of school? Dad, there's so much stuff that's inappropriate. We waste so much time. We're not getting any better. And then, every summer they're dreading the school year. And then they would go 5 days a week of schooling. And then they're exhausted on Saturday and Sunday. It shouldn't be that way. It should be energetic. It should give them greater just energy and vibration frequency. So if you're a parent out there who's watching this and you're like, God, maybe this could help our child, come and walk in and check us out. Please give us a shot to help your child.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
I know, I feel like I need to
Mic drop.
just so you know, you can just cut me out.
No.
So good.
Okay, we're in Lehigh right now. So this is the Lehigh Sports Academy. Jolana actually scheduled this last minute. We were here yesterday, so you're gonna see this. I heard it might even be on tonight. I'm not positive, but we'll let you guys know. So we're in the Lehigh Center. Varsity Sports is their trainer, so shout out to Varsity Sports with Kenny and Linda Willits and the whole Willits fam. Linda's the owner of here, West Valley, or Lehigh. And Jolana is the one that's going to be on this interview as well. She set this up. She's the owner of West Valley. So West Valley is actually located at a satellite campus, literally the There's conference rooms. There's a bunch of great things that she's putting together also out there in West Valley. And there are scholarships through the Utah Fits All. So don't count yourself out and say like, oh, it's too expensive, I can't, afford it. You guys, all of our centers here in Utah are vendors with Utah Fits All Scholarship. And it opens up on August 21st. So if you're thinking about homeschooling or you want to be a part of this, also just know it's not a permanent thing. If you're like, oh, I'm scared to try it, what if we don't like it, we're going to go back? You have the right as a parent to homeschool. And if you're like, not my jam, you can put them right back in. So just know that you have that right. A lot of people don't know that. Also here in Utah, you can actually do hybrid. I get this question all the time. I just got that question in our DMs today. Is yes, they can go to high school and take a couple classes, come to our center, take a couple classes, and or they can just come full-time at Elite and go play sports at the local high school. You can absolutely do that as well. We have high schoolers enrolled in many of our centers here in Utah. So click the link in our bio or West Valley or Lehigh or literally anybody's bio. All of our centers are enrolling. Actually, this goes for all of our owners. All of our centers are enrolling right now. Arizona, Florida, Atlanta, Hawaii, Utah, of course, and Las Vegas, and online, and Dallas, and growing. And also, yes, we have opened this up for a licensing opportunity. If you would like to become an owner, we are running our next owners class. We only take 5 at a time. We have 2 enrolled right now, so we have 3 spots. We're starting in 2 weeks. So if you want to know more about how to open your center, please click the link in our bio. It says become an owner, and then you'll meet with your girl. So anyways, you guys have a great Sunday. As always, love you guys. We'll see you on the other side.